Hello everybody and welcome back to Combe Valley Campers. This is part 3 of our mini-series of making our T6.1 project vehicle more adventure ready. And today we're going to be showing you the campervanculture.com Sharpa System rear wheel carrier and barn door mount. I just want to take a moment to say thank you to our sponsors, Howden's Modified Van Insurance. That's right, A-Plan are now Howden's. They still do exactly the same in that they will insure your van from the time you buy it until you completely convert it into a camper van and beyond. And if you want an exclusive rate on your next policy, please mention Combe Valley Campers and they will sort you out. So if you want to get some more gravel in your travel or just kit your vehicle out with all the right gear, we always turn to campervanculture.com. You might have seen in previous videos, we installed the Frontrunner Slimline 2 roof rack to this vehicle and the Sharpa System rear ladder to our barn door. Jed over at Campervan Culture hooks us up constantly, and in this case also, he helped us with the ARB awning and the Frontrunner quick release mounts, which are in a previous video on this mini-series. Check it out right here. Today we have the Sharpa System barn door spare wheel carrier, and it's a hefty piece of kit. This thing is absolutely brilliant, and Jed has done a fantastic thing and designed it so you don't have to drill anything. Everything you see here is what's in the kit. We have to supply a wheel, obviously, but everything you see here is in the kit. We have the main framework, which simply hooks over the top of the door and then bolts through the number plate mounting system, which you will find on any T5, T6, T6.1 platform. Then there is a range of accessories here that will enable you to not bolt your wheel to this, but rest your wheel onto this uni-strut system that bolts onto the bottom, these really hefty stainless steel bars, and a series of straps that, when used in conjunction with this pretty ingenious plate, holds the wheel onto this carrier. Now this has been designed not just as a spare wheel holder, but as a storage space as well. So you actually mount the wheel backwards onto this, so the cavity of the wheel is facing outwards. You can then open the door on this, almost looks like a toilet seat there, doesn't it? You can lift that door, it flops all the way down, and then you've got storage space inside your spare wheel, which I think is absolutely brilliant. It's a really, really clever idea. So without further ado, I think what we should do is show you how easy this is to fit and how versatile it can be. So yeah, let's smash on. So the first thing you're going to need to do to install the Sharpa system is simply open your door. Next thing is to remove the number plate. Now we seem to have some fancy number plate holder, but 9 times out of 10 you will have 2 bolts that go through. So if I try my best to undo this bracket, here we go. And then my number plate should simply come out. And then I have 2 bolts there, look. So all I need to do is undo those bolts, remove that number plate carrier, and then offer up the Sharpa system. Next stage then is to mock up this Sharpa system. We're simply going to lift her up, and you hook these 2 top mounts over the metalwork of the rear door. Now your aim in this stage is to line up the bolts in the spare wheel carrier to the bolts in this section here. So I'm going to have to move her over and just have a bit of a play with it until you're comfortable that all the holes line up. that is. That's a big thick pad. Now, as you can probably see, this is standing off quite a way from where you want it to bolt it to, but that's because provided is a huge foam pad in there, and then once it's actually bolted in, it will compress down nicely. But basically I need to know that those holes line up, which they do, and again I'm very happy with that. And then what's needed next is I need to mark up here 1, 2, 3, 4 the positions of where these brackets are, so I can then fit the supplied foam, which is designed to protect that metal edge from any abrasion, which could then lead to paint removal and rust. So I'm going to mark that now with just a couple of little bits of masking tape, and then stick on the self-adhesive foam strips to roll over that edge. So point to note, this has already got some of the foam on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas, but we've added the bit on the top, so there's no need for you to go ahead and stick any of that on, just those 2 bits on the top of the door. I have made sure to clean all the areas with soapy water and a bit of brake clean, so there's no grime on there in terms of organic grime, and there's no oils and residue as well, because if any dirt is behind these areas, over time it could wear, rub off of the paint, etc, etc. So the door is now fully prepared, the paintwork is now fully prepared, the ladder, Sharpa System, is ready to go on. I'm happy with the position. I'm just going to get a rubber mallet in order to just knock those top brackets all the way home on the foam, which will compress the foam and send them all the way in. So now the top mounts are in position. I am messing around with this area here. Now, because it's all fresh and new and the foam's not being compressed yet, it's all a bit of a stretch. So what I've done, over and above the bolts that Jed has supplied, I've found some longer Allen bolts. I've added some of my own washers. So what I can do is line up the holes with the factory number plate holes, and I can wind them in, and I can hold it into position. Is that pulling in? Yeah. To then put, and I've already done this side, to put the supplied bolts in place. Now, the other reason I've added my own washers is because I'm not putting a number plate on here, I'm putting a number plate carrier like this. So yeah, using a couple of bolts that are a bit too long initially, just to compress it in. Then I'm adding the supplied bolts to get it all in place nicely. I might need to put a longer bolt here because I've just added this thickness. But yeah, it's going to take a bit of fandangling, I think, just to get right. Yeah, I'm going to need to move some trim out of the way. And obviously the one thing that I've just noticed, I'm not going to get this to sit as high as it used to be because of these bars. It's not going to sit up in that frame. So give us a couple of minutes. I'm going to mess around with it, and then I'll get back to you once the number plate's on. The next stage I'm really looking forward to, which is actually building this system up. First part being this bar across the bottom. Simply 3 bolts go into 1, 2, 3 holes. The next section to fit are these 2 stainless steel bars. Now they're threaded to accept the adapter that fits into the rail, and they've got a stud on one end for the hoop, should I say, the hoop, and this is where you run your straps through. All will become evident later. But yeah, I'm going to slide these into the rail in the required position, and then using a 21mm spanner, I can then tighten these right up. Using a series of straps, these poles and that front cover plate, the wheel sits within this space and then the cover plate goes on top. To achieve where I want different straps, the next thing I need to do is just add this loop here to the top rail of the bar, and then that is the place in which our strap feeds through. One of the last things to do then is to construct the cover plate. We have a series of nuts, bolts, fastenings and fixings in front of me, 2 beautiful stainless steel hinges and a clasp system, and everything's pre-drilled, goes through all this beautiful powder coated metal. I think we'll turn on a bit of time lapse and get that built up right now. We've pretty much used up all the parts and pieces. The last bits remaining is this cover plate, some 2 hoops for the straps, and we just need to mount them on that back plate. But we haven't got a wheel. What we need to do is go and get our replacement wheel, not replacement, but our extra wheel from Navis with a Tyre mounted. And for that, we're going to head down to BM Autosport in Eastbourne. We are down in Eastbourne, East Sussex at BM Autosport. We've got some nice wheels in front of us and we've got a nice tyre going on it too. And if you're in the same position and you want to protect your asset, your nice alloy wheel or the set of wheels you've just bought, you want the tyres fitted by an expert. And that's why we're here. We have a great relationship with the guys at BM Autosport and we're actually selling their products in our showroom. And this isn't just a promo thing. We wanted to come down, we wanted to see the guys and we wanted to see how they go about that work and also show you, because as you can see, we've got some transporters outside and they belong to the guys that run this business. They are concentrating on transporters more and more, and more specifically into the swamper market. So right now, there's no better place to have our swamper wheel fitted with our BFG Trail Terrain. I think what we'll do now is take you inside, meet the team and show you what they're all about. So here we are in the BM Autosport showroom with Mark, who is director of the business. Thank you so much for having us down.
No problem at all. Good to have you.
It's a fantastic space.
Yes, thank you.
It's really cool. There's lots on display. Tell me a bit more about the business and what you do and how it all came about.
So yeah, nearly 25 years I've been doing this now. So I have a love of BMWs and that's where it all started from.
Yeah.
And then I've always bought and sold things. And so that just turned into buying and selling bits and pieces of BMWs, which then gravitated towards the wheels because everybody likes wheels. And then it just developed from there basically. And then sort of, because the BMW fitment of wheels is the same as the Transporter T5 onwards,
that's
we start
5x120.
5x120,
yeah.
That's right. We started doing more of the Transporter wheels. And then more recently, I've got a Transporter now, which is, you know, you can just keep going and going and going what you put into
Absolutely.
them. And you know, I've started to get more into the Transporter fitments, and yeah, not just Transporter, but the van market and the camper market.
Yes.
But I like the Transporter because obviously I have one, the whole scene, and just starting to get a bit more of you know, the styles of wheels that people like for these vehicles.
And you've got some fantastic stuff on offer. Obviously, you've got the traditional big rims that are really sort of high fashion, but you've noticed a trend swap and have accommodated that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I ran 20s on my vehicle, but I've gone down to the 17s on it now because I wanted a bit more comfort. I didn't want to worry about every curb and every pothole and things like that. And,
Absolutely.
And yeah, I like them. And the more I have them on my van and the more I have them, the more I like them. And so I've just started to get more of those sorts of designs in, and that's probably where I'll evolve more into those as well as time goes on. But yeah.
And you got in touch with us initially because not only are you accommodating the transporter market, but you can get a fitment in for pretty much anything, right?
Yeah. I mean, we've done it for 25 years now. Obviously, I've got all sorts of different suppliers that I've always been able to get all sorts of different fitments, but never really got into it. And now I am basically, you know, all of the different van, commercial aspects of fitments and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just, it's a market that I would like to get into more, you know?
It's brilliant. And with a space like this where you can actually come in and see the wheels. Obviously, we're now working together, so you've got a selection of wheels in our showroom, and you've got another one to give us today, which I'm looking forward to hanging up. We obviously, in this case, we chose the Navis wheel. We've got the Mach AT in bronze, which you are fitting a tyre on for us today. But you stock Navis wheels as well.
Yeah, we can also supply Navis. It's all on our website. So
brilliant. And so let's say, what are the top 5, or what are the big 5 maybe, or the big 3 that you supply or people most want, or is it just an ever-growing market?
I think the thing with certain vehicles where we've done BMWs, there was always certain designs that would be right. But the beauty with this, the transporters or any van, there's no wrong or right. And so, you know, someone's design that's very swamper might not be for everybody, but a little bit less, but none of them are going to be wrong. So there isn't really a better one than another one, or a more desirable. It's what someone personally likes the look of, and everyone's different. So, and you've got a really good selection. We try and, you know, this is only a small selection as well. So we try and, you know, get all the different designs, as many different designs as we can get, you know. So people can get in touch with you, no matter what brand of van, camper, car they have, and you can help them design a wheel and tyre package to accommodate it, and then they can bring it here and you fit it? Yeah, they come down, free fitting. We happily have people down here. We'd like to have people down here. I obviously appreciate distances, they can't always do that, so we can, obviously everything can be mail ordered, but yeah, it's great to have customers coming down, for us to be able to fit them to the vans and just to chat to them and talk to them, and they can see who we are and what we do as well, you know.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So not only a tyre fitter for us today, but a complete wheel and tyre package expert, been doing it for 20 plus years. You've got, I mean, we've had a quick look around here, and not only is there this showroom, there's the fitting area, there's the showroom and fitting area, sorry, there's tyre fitting area and then a wheel fitting area next door, and I look forward to showing you that. But upstairs, you've got some stock too.
Yes, there is.
We'll show you that upstairs in a minute. But no, thank you once again for having us down, for showing the space. It really helps that you're local as well. You're only about 20 minutes away from our showroom. But if you can't make that, obviously we have a selection of the Swamper wheels on our wall on display. So if you want to get in touch with us regarding wheels, please do. This is the subject matter expert. So what we've done is brought that wheel today from Navis. We've been quite specific in our tyre.
Yes.
And it's one that's been quite difficult to get hold of as well. They're quite low in stock right now. We're July 2025. For some reason, there seems to be a national shortage of this BFG trail terrain.
For the trail terrain, that's right. You can get the all-terrain, but the specific trail terrain.
The trail terrain.
Just lucky to get that one, because I don't have any dates on it.
Brilliant.
Now,
so I think without further ado, let's head through to the tyre fitting area and show exactly what's going to be involved in fitting this tyre to the Navis Mach AT in bronze. So we've got our wheel now on the machine. The tyre that I've gone for, and I think we spoke about this on our wheel and suspension video.
Yes,
it's the BFG Trail Terrain, which is a new tyre for this year.
Yeah.
I love the BFG brand, always have done. Bit of a nerd like that when it comes to tyres. But I've gone for a more road biased.
The trail, yes.
The trail rather than the all-terrain or the mud terrain.
Yeah.
Now, is there any information you can give me with regards to wheels and tyres and ratings when it comes to the fitment of, let's say, a transporter, or more specifically a camper van?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you need to make sure that the weight rating of the wheel covers the load of the vehicle. And it's not just the load of the vehicle, it's the axle load of the vehicle as well. So it's just something that you need to know. Most vehicles will have that on their V5 axle weight, so you just need to make sure that the wheels are going to cover that weight. And the same with the tyres, the load rating on the tyres, that you're also covering the weight of the vehicle to make sure everything's done correctly. So yeah.
So having a tyre that's designed for a transporter by the likes of Navis will have the right weight rating.
Yeah.
And then having a BFG trail terrain of a significant size, that's designed for more 4x4 use, so they're a heavier vehicle.
More load rate on
so within the scope of this tyre, this wheel and this tyre, I'm well within.
For Transporter T6, any of those models, you'd be well within the 3.2 maximum load of that. The
brilliant stuff. Well, I'm not going to delay you any further. Let's chuck this on and we can go from there. Cheers.
I'm going to go with the letters on the outside.
I'm a white letter out type of guy. So if you wouldn't mind, that'd be brilliant.
You've got a shirt off, haven't you?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Right, so that is never going to take any air because of obviously they're really sort of big sidewall tyres. The bead goes inwards,
Yeah.
and therefore it's when you're on an 8-inch rim or 8.5 as this is, it's very baggy on there. So it will definitely need to be blasted.
So blasting means you're going to inject it with a lot of air.
So yeah, so we use this. So what we'll do is it needs 2 people because someone needs to be putting air in it at the same time, and then we'll blast it from the other side. The blast will expand the tyre and it will catch, if you like, and then it will as you're putting air in at the same time, it will keep it inflated.
Right.
It will inflate it. So fingers crossed it should go first time. So yeah. All right, let's get this loaded up. So I want to see whether actually I can try to get the front bead to seal.
Yeah.
Because I think blasting it is actually blasting that off a bit.
Yeah.
So let's just have a feel of what it's like, and then it might. Right, John, you start getting air in it. The quieter it goes, the closer we get. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, let me just get it in there. I think we might have to like let it go a little bit more, then work out how to get that out afterwards.
I'd say let it pop.
Yeah. Right, we're halfway there. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, in a minute, it's going to go pop and go back in, but I don't think it will. But that would be worse. But we're all seated now, so it's just putting air in it. Yeah, keep going.
So that was a
tricky.
That was a tricky one, wasn't it?
It
So
was.
for you guys at home, you obviously now see the tyre seated, but that wasn't without the help of an inner tube. So normally your process would be apply air pressure to the tyre, use the blaster.
Well, normally we wouldn't use the blaster. Normally the tyre would generally be ready to seat.
Yeah.
But as you start getting to these bigger all-terrain tyres or even just bigger profile normal tyres, for instance, we did a set the other day, then we would use our bead blaster, which will blast air in and push the seat out so that it seals whilst you're putting air into it. But obviously when we tried with this, there was such a bit, the way the BF Goodrich beads were really narrow, and being I think an 8.5-inch rim, there was a massive gap there, and the bead blaster just still could not, air would escape too quickly.
Yeah.
So as you've,
Well, this is an idea that came from Ross, one of our guys who everybody knows on the channel as well. He used to be a tyre fitter as well, and allegedly they always used to give him the trouble jobs. And he said when he helped fit the tyres on our other 4, he needed the use of an inner tube. And it's an idea that worked.
Yeah, I mean, it's, so it essentially created the seal. It took the gap up and allowed us to seat it. I mean, well, we've had this situation before, and what we would generally do when there's more time is we would actually, what I would put pieces of blocks of wood to mould the bead to be further apart. But obviously we wanted to get it done now, and it worked, so we got it done.
Nice. What's the next process?
So it'll be on the balance machine now to get it all balanced up. So,
Super. Excellent stuff. Let's get on with it. So there we have it. Tyre, troublesome tyre.
Yes.
Now fitted to the wheel as we needed to, and we're here, like we said, at BM Autosport with Mark. Once again, thank you very much, my man.
No problem.
Thank you so much
Thanks for coming down.
showing us around.
No, pleasure.
It's a wicked space here. Like I say, there's lots of stuff on display in the showroom. There's huge amounts of stock upstairs, and you've got your own fitting bay.
Yeah, everything.
And if you need alloy wheels refurbed or straightened or anything like that, then we can come and see you
yeah,
guys
we can
as
do
well.
everything. Yeah, of course.
Super. And if you're down at our showroom, you just want a small snippet of the wheels, we have them on display too, and we're taking an extra one away with us today.
Yes, today. Yeah, another one up on the wall.
Brilliant. All right. Well, thank you
No
once
problem.
again. This is now going to go on this one's actually going on the van,
at the back.
and the one that's in the back corner, and
Oh,
I'll
okay.
talk about that later. The one that we've got used is going on the back.
Okay,
on the,
yeah.
on
But you've
the,
got 5 though.
wheel rack. So yes, now we have 5, and we'll be coming back to see you because there's another set of these for a customer coming up.
Yep, when we can get the tyres, yeah.
Yeah, super stuff. Right, thank you once again.
No
Appreciate
worries.
it, my man.
Thank you, Lee.
And we'll see you very soon.
Thank you.
Back in the workshop then, we have our brand new Navis Mac AT in bronze with a BFG Trail Terrain TA in a 245/65/17. Now, you saw we had a couple of problems down at the tyre fitting shop purely because of the type of tyre. And we had exactly the same problem when we fitted the other 4 for this van, 6 months ago, a year ago now. But we're here, we're done. And I think what we need to do with this now immediately is chuck it on the back and see how it looks. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, why did you have such a pretty wheel mounted and then you fit it on the van in reverse? Well, there's 2 reasons. One, all of the wheels and tyres we have on this van are oversized and we need a matching spare in case the inevitable happens. This wheel and tyre combo, we cannot fit underneath the van, so this is our other option. You fit it backwards on that rack system because once this plate is mounted on, I now have the inside of a 17-inch wheel as extra storage. How clever is that? What we need to do now is find out where we want to mount our hoops, because the strap system that is supplied starts from this point here, goes through the cover plate onto a loop in the center, both sides. So this wheel is actually strapped at the bottom and then also strapped at the top. So we're going to use one of these hoops with the supplied nut and bolt on the top here, and then another one. And looking at the way this is, I think I can get away with putting one right there. So I'll put my second lashing point there, and then we'll be strapped top and bottom. Looks good, doesn't it? So we have the 3 hoops. I got it wrong earlier. There is 1, 2, 3. Now our straps, once we put the wheel on and then a cover plate on, strap number 1 will go round the top through the hoop, through this, and then back again. And then these 2 will hold the other 2 straps and both come in to this point. Less talking, more action. Let's put the wheel on and show you how it's done for real. So to mount the plate, using the straps and the eyelets. Now I might have added 1 too many eyelets, but I'm not going to moan about it. We're going to use the straps. They're actually campervanculture.com cam buckle, labelled cam buckles, which is brilliant, with a brake strain of 450 kilos, so we know they're long enough, strong enough, sorry. This strap feeds through the hole, and then you have to hold your plate up and feed the strap through the top buckle. Making sure everything's nice and straight. And then that feeds through there. I'm going to take a bit of time to make sure that is nice and neat and centered. Because I want this place to sit perfectly within that tyre. That top one there is actually looking pretty fine. Now move to the side ones. Now there's a bit of a process and I will go through that with you right now. The lower straps mount in a slightly different manner. You feed the end of the strap through the hoop, making sure that all of the strap goes through, so you're just left with the buckle. This then feeds under the plate. Making sure to keep everything kink-free. Then feeds through your inside buckle. If I can get my digits in there, there we go. Oh, damn it. Quick censor that out, Ali. Brilliant. Then that feeds back through the plate. And in through your buckle there. Again, make sure it all sits nicely, lines up. And do the same for this side. So I've got some extra tassels here. I'm just going to lift that up slightly. Just using a plastic trim tool. Feed that into there. And then just tidies up your ends really nice. And there you have it, the campervanculture.com Sharpa System wheel carrier with the cover plate. I'm going to say it again, but how cool is that? New Navis Mach AT wheel, a BFG Trail Terrain TA, and the Sharpa System with, that's huge amounts of storage. I believe you can get a diesel can that fits within that space, or an extra water carrier that fits in that space. We'll do some research on it because I think that's a perfect space for that. That is lockable, put a little padlock on that or even nut and bolt it if you wish. But that's on there and I didn't have to drill anything. That was just assembly required. I'm going to take some time, probably just to fiddle and fart with a few of the straps just to make this centered. But as a thing, really, really happy with that. So thank you, Jed at campervanculture.com for this and a lot of the other accessories you've seen, including this ladder. And you can go to this video right here to see how we fitted the front runner Slimline 2 rack and the Sharpa ladder. If you've noticed the roof tent, that's in a previous video. If you've noticed the ARB awning, that's in a previous video. And if you've noticed the Vamoose rail, that's in a previous video, all of which are down in the links below and all are available from our shop at combuddycampers.co.uk. Thank you once again for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of this type of content, click subscribe. And if you want to be notified on the next video, click the bell and you will be notified on your feed as to when the next Combe Valley Campers video is live. Thank you once again and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.